least for now.
For now.
Oh,
Redeem
hello from the library at Hellebore.
I don't think we're live, are we? Oh, now we
Yeah.
are. I am lagging like a motherfucker.
Button. Yeah. So this is the book that we read.
Okay.
It is a very pretty book.
Mm-hmm. With the
Yeah,
sprayed
the
edges.
And has a this actually matches your Amanda.
My bolo.
Oh, it does. That's so cool. I didn't even realize that was there.
That's
but...
accidental. I only have the ebook.
I know. I just thought
Yeah.
that you wouldn't even have known because you didn't have a physical copy.
I have ravens, but I don't have deer. But anyway,
I think mine's a steer, but
close
same
enough.
idea.
Oh, well, you know, horns, whatever that class of cow, deer species is called. What is that called? Like, it's not canine. What would the equivalent be? Bovine? But that would just be cow.
Anyway. Horny creatures.
Fauna.
Oh, no.
Well, this is one way to start the conversation.
Well,
a bad book is pretty. Tell us how you really feel.
Well, I know how.
Well, at least it's pretty.
You guys, like, introduce yourselves. Everyone should know who you are, but I feel like I'm a bad host if I don't offer the floor for you to declare your presence and your bona fides.
Yeah.
I guess I'll go. Hi, everybody. I'm Amanda. I'm the Naughty Librarian. I've been in this book club since the beginning. I think I named it. So, you guys
founding member.
A founding member, and I talk about books on the internet. I think most people now know me for Anne Rice stuff. So
yeah, which is very entertaining. Me. Yeah, I'm Demon Like Woe, Spawn Like Woe, aka
whole channel rebrand,
aka Mara. And I'm the reason that we're not doing this on Halloween. So please, I'm very sorry. It is entirely my fault. So I appreciate my co-host's forgiveness and flexibility.
All right. So that's your qualifications for talking about library at Hellebore.
I did read it and I liked it better than Leanna. I don't know how Amanda feels about it, but
I gave it like 2 stars in the end.
I gave it 1 star.
I gave it a generous 3.
1, 2, 3.
I was feeling. I almost did 3 to be generous, but I'm like, no. I didn't sit right on my spirit, so I put it back down to 2 because it had its moments. I like some of the imagery.
Be real. Anyone that claims to have a scientific process for rating is lying. It's all vibes.
Yeah, I do like the qualification of is what I felt in my spirit. That I think is a very good way to describe. Like sometimes you're like, well, I think if I'm trying to be objective, this is probably like a 2, 2.5, and I was like, well. But I love this kind of plot, so I'm going to give it a little bonus.
Yeah.
We all just spirit vibe based.
Yeah.
Metrics.
Well, we are spirit. We are evil spirits, so
yes. Technically, I am one of the students.
Yeah. I'm
But I do have like evil woodland gods inside of me because that's the image that sticks out the most in my head. I will not put them back in my mouth.
I was going to say, did you even have them in your mouth on camera at all here? No one has seen the locust.
Oh no.
There we go.
Bugs.
I took there's a picture on Instagram. It exists.
Oh, that's right.
For prosperity.
I'll share to Blue Sky. That's my contribution.
Have we had the 3 of us here read this author before? I did. I read 1 book from her before this.
No, this is my first.
I read
and
Grows Heavy.
What?
The Salt Grows Heavy, that mermaid one. I read that one.
I read that one. You said what else, Mara? You said you haven't read it, but you said something else?
Oh, I haven't read it, but the author uses they, them pronouns.
Oh. Good to know.
We'll do our best. So you read The Salt Grows Heavy, which I thought sounded good, but didn't pick up because it didn't get good reviews.
Yeah.
And Leanna, you also read The Salt Grows Heavy?
Yeah, I really liked The Salt Grows Heavy.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't like that one either. So I'm like, oh, this just confirms it.
I liked that one. And so when I saw people for this one saying, this author's style isn't for everyone. So if like this author's style works for you, then you might like it. And I was like, no, but I did like The Salt Grows Heavy. I don't like this.
Yeah, this makes me curious because all their book descriptions sound really interesting
I
to
have
me.
no idea about the author's age. I think they're pretty new, right? They don't have a lot of books out.
They
This is only
probably
third or fourth.
I
they
think they
look.
have a lot of shorts out. Like they've been published short
We do
stories a lot.
appreciate an author that
Let's
is
see.
dedicated to brevity.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Nothing But
This
Black
was
and
nice and
Tea,
short.
The
So
Salt Grows Heavy, and Breakable Things.
But this is a
So
tome
hefty
compared to the
things.
Salt Grows Heavy.
Yeah. So the descriptions of their novellas have sounded really interesting to me, but they've always gotten bad reviews, so that's why I haven't ended up picking them up. But I'm intrigued now that you say, Leanna, that you didn't think this was similar to the other book you read, but
I
Amanda
guess
thinks it is, so
I think it is.
I see a lot of complaints for this book. I didn't really look that much into reviews for the other one. I was just like, I liked it, and I moved on.
Yeah.
But it seems
I
to
don't
me that
know.
people are generally complaining about the author's use of just being like very verbose and very like wanting to play around with like language and like metaphors and big words and similes and stuff. And that doesn't really bother me. So that's definitely true in both. So if like that's the thing that someone didn't like about one or the other, that's consistent. I just
Okay.
don't think, like, I think Salt Grows Heavy. I thought it was very like vibey and atmospheric, and I thought it was chilling and haunting in a way that left an impression on me. Whereas this was just like, I don't know, it just felt like gratuitous with like 0 point to it.
That's how I felt about Salt Grows Heavy, and I felt the same again. That it's like you can't, swap out character development with eviscerations. Like I get it.
That's how I felt about this one.
I get it. There's like a lot of like really cool
Yeah.
gore and horror stuff. Like the imagery, great. I love a lot of the imagery going on here. But like, I don't know who the fuck any of these characters are. None of them are gone into well enough. So
Well-
like, okay, I'm just seeing people I don't care about get killed.
Yeah,
There is like a little bit, but she spent so much time doing all the like the horror imagery and none doing like, let's talk to these characters for a hot minute.
Yeah, so this book's plot is for me. I love this kind of story.
Does that
and this
include
reminds
the timeline, like
No,
lack
well,
of coherence? Is that
no.
part of what you like or not?
No.
Okay.
I am on record as not liking dual timelines pretty much ever. Not well, with exceptions, including the book that this is actually quite similar to in terms of its plot, which is The Library at Mount Char, which is also like Becoming Gods. Which is one of my all-time favorite books. I love that book. But to me, that one, because it was longer and because it didn't feel like it was like it did purposeful disorientation to me in a way that I thought was really effective. This one just was like muddled and using the dual timeline to conceal its muddledness, which I think is often what is happening in a dual timeline. It's like you couldn't get your plot shit together and therefore you're breaking it up to try to like cover up that this doesn't actually amount to anything, which is what I thought this. But the reason I was compelled by the plot. I like this kind of plot, so it kept me reading. I thought some of the imagery was cool. But yeah, like there's no character development at all.
Well, it was comped, which gave me pause when I was first looking at it. It was comped to the Skullman's books, by Naomi Novik, the Deadly Education. I hated A Deadly Education, so
Yeah.
but things get comped all the time.
It.
It's like, but like just because it's like, well, okay, but it's like a school and there's deadly stuff going on, so like obviously that's the comp. So I wasn't like too worried about it. It was like, but I didn't like that, and yeah, it was very similar to that. I don't like either one.
I don't see, but that's my difference with the Scullaman series because I really like that one, and we spent a lot of time getting to know those characters, plus all of the evisceration. So out of the two, I think that one's a better book.
My patrons know that I hated the Library of Mount Char, but I liked the Library of Mount Char better than the Library at Hellebore.
Library fight! I've
just found that like I can't think of a single book that has library in the name that I've liked.
Well, so the Library of Mount Char is a very strong flavor, but I think it's a well done version of that flavor. You may not like it, but it's like a good version of what it is.
Disagree, but you can have your opinion.
Yeah, but this I just think is not a good version of this story. It's similar to God, what was the Shauna Maguire one that was like just a Library at Mount Char ripoff? The one with the two twins. I forget.
It was Armageddon.
Maguire books, and I haven't been a fan. So
yeah, similar to. I think I gave that one 3 stars too. So it's like in both of them, like okay, I really like this kind of story.
The long one. I always just think of the short ones. The one with the
middle
black cover
middle
that has, like,
game
a hand on it.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay, I did read that, and I did not like it.
So I gave that 3 stars because similar to this, it's like okay, I like this kind of plot, so like I'm happy enough to keep reading, but this is not a good version of this. Like Yeah, it's
So when
just
you
not.
say this kind of plot, do you just mean like a gory school or like
Like
what?
becoming gods, like
Mm.
a kind of very gory, intense fight at the
Oh
school
yeah, should we
type
explain what this book
thing.
is about?
Oh yeah, someone
Which
should.
like
I
if you
don't really
honestly
know,
don't, I don't think I can
honestly.
do that. It's all you.
So it's a it's this trope, which is it's a school where they're people with special powers, in this case like kind of evil powers, so like the Antichrist. There's a variety of, you know, ooky spooky gross powers that different people have. And then there's some kind of like competition amongst them of who is going to like, it's like a fight to the death
A
kind of
battle
thing.
royale.
Yeah, a battle, that's what it is. It's like paranormal battle royale is for me. I like that.
In a
Um
school that is called a library.
yeah, I
Well,
guess
they were in the
apparently.
library at the school. The school is like
Okay.
Hellebore.
Yeah. So that's kind of the overall plot, and we have our main character who is not like other girls, hashtag. Um and
In
like,
a different way, though.
yeah, and we open the book with
But
I
like
think
you get it right that she just doesn't care, right? That this
she doesn't
doesn't
want to
bother her,
be here,
right? Were
guys.
you picking that up?
She doesn't want to be here.
Well, technically, she got kidnapped. Like,
She did.
I'm like devil's advocate. So
Yeah,
she didn't want to be here, and she didn't have any choice.
yeah,
But
but
that's my biggest hang up about it, because like I really wanted to get to know her, and they just kind of gloss over the trauma that got her here.
yeah, there's some intense, like the stuff that is discussed and kind of just like thrown out there and is horrifying and not dealt with is myriad, which is to me what separates something like the library at Mount Char, which is it's exploring how horrifying the stuff is versus just like, ah, this is gross. Like
Yeah.
this is just sort of like, bah, this is gross the whole time.
This is
And it
also
was
the kind of thing that like this would work better as a movie where you can get away with it all just being visuals and like not so much going on in the surface, because you can be like, oh, that was like a cool visual spectacle of horror and gore. But when a book, you're like, there's a lot of adjectives here. The whole book is adjectives. Like, I don't care.
yeah. It so
A
and
lot
it
of cannibalism
there's a lot of eating of
of
people
people.
and like just gross stuff in yeah.
Yeah. Like every time I'm
But it's so
surprised how much
gratuitous that,
cannibalism there is.
like, for me personally, because it's so gratuitous, I just like didn't care. Like, it wasn't gross to me. I was just like, oh, great, more blood,
I don't know. When she ate that
eating,
guy's lip, I was
dying.
kind of grossed out. When she ate his lip.
Well, I think you get desensitized to it at some point, which might be part of the commentary, but I just don't think it's
Well, desensitized, and also like if you don't care or like think of the people that's happening to as people, because they're like you have not thing to latch onto with them, then it's just a description of a terrible thing that's happening, but you have no attachment to it. Whereas if I
Yeah.
care about the character and then you're telling me this is happening to them, or they're doing this to somebody, now I'm like I'm a seat at the table. Like I'm there for this in a way that is going to be more like I'm going to internalize the horror of that.
Yeah.
yeah.
That was the only relationship I cared about in the book, was the death dealer kid and our main character. I can't remember anyone's names, by the way.
Oh no,
So
couldn't.
I remember
dealer
Portia's
kid.
name. Portia.
I didn't
She was
even
the one
remember
eating
that.
things. She was like the creature, right? In
Yeah.
the human
Oh
skin.
yeah, where she
Um,
like she
And they
gets
did
on
a
this guy.
whole thing about her name and how like, is it a Shakespeare reference? They're like, no, it's not a Shakespeare reference. Like, well, then what is it a reference to? And they're like, oh, is it really a reference to this one stupid movie? Now let's talk about the movie. And I'm like, this book is like 200 pages and we're spending some of that time on this.
Well,
Okay.
yeah. The only relationship
Yeah.
we had was death dealer and the main character. And then like kind of just ends shittily. And I was like, I wish we had more.
So there was this in sorry, I keep talking about the library much hour, but it's just I just prefer it, and this has so many similarities. In that one, the main character is also a girl who arguably is not like other girls, but the whole story is her like you finding out that she actually really does care about somebody and is like going to these extremes to try to protect them, and then like lose, like basically, well, I don't want to spoil it, but like there's like a story, a growth story between them, and she also has this antagonist kind of like that. I think I want to say his name was Adam, because I was like, oh, Adam, like Adam and Eve, except he's the son of the devil. Like
I think it's
so subtle. And there's like a parallel person in that, and that in the library at Mount Char, it's just that person is so much more interesting than I thought Adam was.
wasn't
Like he
his
was
name
just
Aaron in this?
I thought his name was Adam. Did I just
There is an Adam, but Adam is someone else. Adam is the one
Wasn't
at
Adam
the
the
end.
Antichrist kid?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's who I'm talking about.
But like her like thing is kind of more with Aaron.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying though, is that she had, so it's a similar setup that our main character has somebody you think maybe she kind of cares about, but in this one, like she doesn't really. Like she doesn't actually really at the end of the day have that strong of a connection to that person. And then she also has an antagonist, in this case Adam, who is just not interesting. He's like this, he's the Antichrist, but like there's
None of them are
nothing
interesting. The only thing interesting about them is how they die.
Yeah, that's or what was the couple that was connected to each other and she could like make you feel things? They were the only ones I thought who, yeah, whatever her name was, but I thought, I thought she was the only one that was like kind of interesting because she actually seemed like she gave a shit about something, which was her partner.
She was, I don't even know I don't know if there's a word for it. Pedantic, maybe?
Yeah,
where,
I mean,
I feel like even the author was just like, look at this fucking thing. Look at this fucking guy.
What a loser for caring about things. That seemed to be the attitude of the book. It was like, okay,
fucking loser.
I feel like I honestly think you could almost pull off this book being almost just the way that it is, with this like lack of character development and constant gore, if there was a strong current of extremely sharp gallows humor.
I think,
and that's why Gullivants works.
Yeah, I think it tried to be funny. I think that her like, I'm not like other girls was supposed to be funny, but it just wasn't. So
yeah, I felt like she was like a lot of other girls who had experienced that kind of trauma that we never go into.
When we say a lot of other girls who have experienced that kind of trauma, who has experienced this? Who else has experienced
not like the evisceration of her stepdad, but the fact that her stepdad was trying to molest her, you know?
Yeah.
I was thinking more of like Hellebore.
Well, and like, I mean, I assume that the book thinks that the commentary is that it's so over the top and gory and you're desensitized to it the way that the characters are, and like, you know, dare I say Abercrombie-esque of like violence begetting violence. But I just don't think that it pulled that off really.
I just think the author, like, I've only read one other book by this author, but both of them were just like, the author likes horror stuff. They want to write cool, scary imagery, and that's where they put the like vast majority of their focus, and not into anything else. And that's fine. Like, I like horror stuff. I'm a spooky kid. Like, I want to see cool horror stuff, but like, you need the other half too if you want to make it compelling.
Well, so I think with The Salt Grows Heavy, one of the reasons that worked so much better for me was that it is much simpler, and it is very, very few characters are in it. And the thing that is happening, and the thing that is like the people that is happening to, is quite narrow. So it is more like a short story. And so then like it's not like a huge in-depth character study. It's not a Steinbeck book, you know, but because like
there's a little.
But like, because there's so few characters, then you can kind of like pick up subtext and like latch on to what's happening with them, because you're not spending so much time jumping around from thing to thing and timeline to timeline. We were like, I literally don't even know where we are or when we are or what is happening. I barely know your names. There's like very like few names you need to know in The Salt Grows Heavy. So you can just kind of like immerse yourself into the experience. You're not going to suddenly be like whiplashed into a different timeline. You can just like immerse yourself into this kind of like pretty horrific experience. And I think the like imagery of it is cool. And the imagery itself, I got something out of it in the like metaphorical nature of it, where it was like, this is horror, like that you want the cool visual of it. But also I feel like it's working on a metaphorical level to be telling the story too. It's not just like pause for gore. And then the ending of it, I did not like, because there's like an epilogue that I was like, we did not need that. Because otherwise it ends in a way that I was like, this is kind of like poignant, and I liked it. But here, it's just like so much chaos. Just throw everything at the wall and see what sticks, only it's not sticking. None of it is sticking.
Yeah, I almost wonder, like, I think that it kind of doesn't get to have it either way, because I could see a version of this where the characters, like, we don't learn anybody's name. They're totally depersonalized to our main character. And I think that would have been more effective than what ends up like, I think it's just sort of in the middle. It's like not good enough characterization, nor is it like a lack that feels on
in multiple ways. It was like it would needed to be either more normal or more avant-garde, and it was just like not either like far enough in either direction, and so it just like failed on both
Yeah.
fronts. So like pick a lane and lean in.
Yeah.
That exactly. Like they had like the theme of the book is obviously trauma and trauma response and moving past that. And they had a lot of characters with similar traumas, like her and her roommate, you know,
Oh, the
and
roommate, yeah, that wasn't,
they
yeah.
just don't do anything with it. They just like say like, oh, was it like this like rabbit god or something? I forget, like a wolf or something, the wolf god,
Yeah.
who hey, I won't eat you if you sleep with me. Like that's
Yeah.
their like deal.
From
So
when
there's
she's
a
a
lot of
child.
that. Yeah, there's a lot of like trauma bonding here. And
Mhm.
like even in the end, sorry, we're doing spoilers, whatever, this is a book club. Um, where she leaves the school and now she has the ability to bring the whole world down with her because it never saved her. So she's like, I'm taking y'all with me. Fuck y'all.
Yeah.
And I get it, but like it's just not executed well. And I think it could have been like really hard hitting if they
Mhm.
spent some time like doing anything with the characters besides having them get
Yeah.
eaten in horrible ways.
Yeah. And I mean, part of why I like this trope is that it is a commentary on the failure, like systemic failure, right? Like it's these institutions that are pitting people against each other and like forcing them to become the worst version of themselves. Like I am down thematically for that to be where it goes. But I couldn't even tell honestly from the book if she purposefully like did the way she kills the faculty, is it even on purpose? I couldn't totally tell if it was an accident or her plan.
I think it was like this is after she ate that kid's lip and she's like, I am become death. That's the
Yeah.
big finale.
Like,
But
I
I
could
think
tell that
that's
was on
the end of
purpose
the
to
book.
kill Adam. Like, that seemed on purpose, but I couldn't tell if she then knew that they would try to eat her.
I think it was just like, I'm bringing the world down with me.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, as in terms of whether it was premeditated, I think that was her plan. Like at the moment it became possible, like
Yeah.
this opportunity
Yeah.
presented itself, and she was like, "Oh, I know what I'm gonna do."
Yeah. The whole ending is like, well, you know what? Fuck it. Like that's the end of
But
the
even
book.
then, like I feel like there's so much world building that is not explained, and
Mhm.
and the whole book is about world building, and so there's nothing for you to latch onto, and things just keep happening. You're like, is that like status quo, or is that a breaking of status quo? Did we all expect that to happen? Did we not know that was gonna happen? Did we know they could do that? Did we not know they could do that? Like, I don't know what's happening. I don't know if this is supposed to be a surprise or not.
There's just like one info dump about it and like how magic is in the world and how they regulate it.
Yeah, and then there's like paranormal horror FBI that busts in at the end, and I'm like, okay,
But I
what's
had
going
no
on now?
sense of like what is the ramifications for the world at large if an institution like Hellebore, which in theory is like a horrible place, but is doing a service to the world of like keeping, like in theory that's the idea, right? With like dangerous criminals who are incarcerated, it's that like we are keeping the public at large safe by chaining them up in this like horrible place, but we're keeping you safe. So like that's in theory what Hellebore is, right? We're like gathering up all these dangerous folks and keeping them in Hellebore. And so like while we're in there with them, you know, like we're rooting for them, but like is the rest of the world now in mega danger if like the thing that's keeping the monsters at bay is no longer there? Like, should I be worried about that? Like, I don't know what was the ending of this book mean.
Yeah.
I think there's multiple Hellebores. Like this is just one of the institutions.
Well, and then one of them like most people want to be there though. Like it seems like
most people sign up.
Yeah.
Unless, you know, you eviscerate your stepdad and leave him floating in the air until people find it. And then you're like, oh, maybe you should go to Hellebore, you know?
Maybe you're going to get voluntold to go to Hellebore.
Voluntold.
Yeah.
Well, and I feel like, so like with The Salt Grows Heavy, I feel like it did a much better job of playing with your expectations, where you like because of it knows how you're going to probably have interpreted this until the rug gets pulled out from under you and you're like, oh, that's not the kind of setup that we have here, that's not the kind of character that we have here. Here again, this is actually much more like traditional and straightforward and ordinary in how it's doing its storytelling, and I feel like that again it hurts it. So like Salt Grows Heavy, maybe I was giving it more credit than it was due, and maybe I was like filling that in for it. But because like I felt like again, we were playing with those expectations, and I was sort of like being guided along this path where things were revealed to me at times when they would be the most like shocking to me, that this is not what I was led to assume it was. Here, there's nothing to latch on to. There is no like understanding that's being formed that is being subverted. I, by the end, still did not understand. So at no point could the understanding be subverted because I still don't know what I just read.
Yeah, what Beth was saying is that their books are typically lyrical prose contrasted with body horror rather than character development. This may have been the author's attempt to add more character work, and it fell short. And I think like you don't like you can do kind of like what you were saying, like if you leave things more vague in the character world, it puts it kind of more in this like metaphorical, like mythic space. And then you can just let if you do it well, you can just let the audience kind of fill in a lot of those gaps. But if you're going to have specifics, they have to like land, I think.
Well, and then I think you also have to do a more convincing job of writing characters that feel inhuman. Here, because we have this like quirky dialogue that's like, well, now I'm not thinking of these as like otherworldly eldritch creatures that I cannot relate to. I know I'm meant to, like, in the Marvel movie rated NC-17 way, supposed to kind of get like with them and be hanging with this like crew of miscreants that are in this horrible place because they banter with each other and have like relationship drama with each other. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you cannot be doing that if we're not actually going to have them as characters. You need to leave that. Like, again, Salt Grows Heavy. It feels like otherworldly, inhuman things. Like, it's not like, but we're going to be like funny. We don't do that.
You can't add Riverdale to this and and expect it to work.
It's like,
hey, Riverdale develops its characters, so you know.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you're comparing the two, Riverdale is obviously more successful in its plot.
That's what
and
this
both
book
are equally as wild.
This book would have been 5 out of 5 stars if the protagonist had been Jughead Jones.
I mean, honestly, would love to see the gang in this plot. would be an interesting.
The shock on Archie's face the entire time, because at no point would he be on board for any of this.
No, I feel like it's more Scooby-Doo. This would be a Scooby-Doo. Like, they would have got away with it if it wasn't for these meddling kids.
Well, I love Scooby-Doo, so I'm down for that too. Like, I think, maybe taking it in a more camp direction would have been actually pretty
taking it it was like sitting in this middle zone where like
in any direction. Yeah,
I'm imagining like, you know, that scene in Nightmare Before Christmas where there's the doors to the holiday lands, but we're just staying in the netherworld, like the other in-between world where we're not picking any of those. We're just going to stay in non-holiday land, like no holidays. And like, you could have picked like any like bold direction to go in and really like leaned in tonally and like in the plot and in all of the imagery and like really made it like very satirical or very like dark and otherworldly or very like we empathize with these humans who are experiencing this. But we were just like, what if we did none of those things? Like, so then what are we doing? What is the point of it?
Me barf. And I'm not that grossed out after a while with it. So to be positive, do we have like a favorite gross scene? Because I think we all agree she's good at describing that stuff. Yeah, okay.
Locusts. That was my favorite. Sullivan. We never get to know anything about him. We meet him in that one scene, and he had like a dead girlfriend that he carries around, and then like no one ever talks to him until he like sacrifices himself to save his friends, but like we never see them become friends. So I was like, what? But basically he has these locust gods that live in his body. Like his whole body is just like a vessel for locusts who are little gods. And
I mean, I enjoyed the like, you know, oh, the math doesn't go the way you thought it would when it was like half of us will live. So let's body in half there. Like that's what that means. That was amusing to me.
I liked, I thought the scene where Portia like mounts the dude to eat him was pretty, because at first I was like, is she about to fuck him? Like, what's happening?
Also everyone there in the room is also like kind of into it, like into watching them. And I'm like,
it could be both.
Yeah, it was kind of like sexual in a way that I thought was interesting.
Well, like mouths and eating and
and she's like, you know, cowgirl. Like, I'm just like, okay, this is like really horrifying and like also interesting.
I also didn't get that guy's power. Basically, he has like a portal inside of him that spits out meat.
That was
his meat portal he has in his stomach that they feeds the teachers with. Where's what? Why are cubes of meat coming out of him?
Yeah, that was weird.
What? There's a lot of things that
I
don't make a
stopped
lot
trying
of
to
sense.
understand it, and so I stopped questioning any of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know that I've ever read somebody with a meat portal in their tum-tum, I think.
Same.
So
But this is where I feel like also like so often less is more, and not just in terms of like volume of gore, but in like concept of gore. Like if you have one really like solid concept, you actually don't need it's magic systems are the same. Like you don't need to throw everything in here with 50,000 different kinds of magic in your world, because now it's like chaotic. We don't know how they work together. We don't understand the rules. Like this is too much to explain. If you have like one very solid, very interesting piece of horror, piece of like magic, whatever, that can carry you through. Like that, and as long as there's a sort of like interesting varieties in which that manifests. And so like again, salt grows heavy. It's very limited. There's like a very specific thing that's going on that's magical, and that's the only thing that's going on. So then it's easy to like understand and then explore some of things that you're like aren't immediately obvious about what is the nature of that. You're like, oh, so like the extension of that is then this other thing too, as opposed to like also all these 50 other kinds of magic that I'm going to mention for a hot second and move on. And you're like, okay, I don't even have time to be horrified by it because I'm mostly confused.
Beth mentioned The Hollow Places by T. Kingfisher, and T. Kingfisher is often doing rewrites of older horror. So I do think that she's pretty good at like picking like exactly what you're saying. Like she's got like a horror thing. It is often very gross, and like because it's not up front, like because it's like focused. So the impact usually is pretty solid.
Yeah. And like a lot, I mean, like with Hitchcock, always, it's like what I don't show you is more scary than what I do. So it's like it's when you have so much being thrown at you, you miss the exquisite dread of like something looming and not yet being like shown to you, not yet being revealed to you, but there's enough for you to begin to sense that something is very, very wrong. And the longer you can do that foreplay, for lack of a better word, the more horrifying it's going to be when you finally like.
Yeah, it's.
What Moves the Dead was fantastic.
Yeah. Well, and the latest one in that trilogy is What Stalks the Deep, and it's in a abandoned coal mine in West Virginia. And like you don't really find out what's going on until the last it's a novella, so if it's 150 pages, you probably don't really see what's happening until the last 30 pages. And it's very satisfying because it's like, oh, okay, yeah, this is real weird and like really creepy. And I won't spoil it, but yeah, I thought that it for a novella, because this is kind of a novella territory, I get that there's only so much foreplay you have because your page count is shorter.
Well, then again, like this story was like it needed to be longer if we wanted to do this many characters and this much setup and this much world building, or you make it even shorter than this and cut out a lot of the world building, a lot of the characters, and make it about one character and how they're experiencing and discovering this, and they are maybe equally confused about it. Like then and like keep it focused.
Yeah.
And again, basically, this book didn't go hard enough on any level, so that's what makes it like.
Also, the dual timelines. What is the purpose of the dual timeline?
Because the plot didn't work without it. That's why. Like, it's to conceal the fact that the plot.
Honestly, if you just did the present timeline and none of the backstory, that would have been your novella.
Yeah, that would have been better, I think, because it would have been more like filling in the gaps.
The flashbacks gave us nothing.
Yeah.
It gave us hey, here's a character, here's their story a little bit, and you're like,
well, I don't know them or like them better now. It was just
these characters are all dead already. In the present. What's the point?
Well, and like the fact I actually again, another thing I liked, I thought that it started in an interesting place. It starts with our main character over the dead body of her roommate and like presumably has killed her.
Which is where, again, if this had taken a campier, more like dry-witted gallows humor tone, it would have been so funny, especially if you did a movie of this, where if we did a Guy Ritchie style beginning, where this is the situation, and you're like, I bet you're wondering how we got here.
Yeah.
I like the opening of the book, her standing covered in gore over her roommate who's been exploded.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
what a very cool place to start. And actually, if there had been no dual timeline, very effective, I think, because like it starts with her doing that and you don't really know why, and maybe that's kind of what you're trying to figure out versus like just seeing it in flashback. Like
I
the other
few flashbacks.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, you probably will have like one or two, but like it's what's his face that was banging her maybe is like trying to like his conflict is like I'm trying to figure out what's going on amidst these other people trying to kill us. Create some interest and intrigue, and our main characters being cagey in an understandable way instead of a weird way. Like, I don't know. I think that could have been a better novella structure.
She ate his lip and I can't get over it.
I also I feel I'm so sick and tired of books that take place in a boarding school having to lampshade a Harry Potter reference. Which this book also goes out of its way to acknowledge that well, I know you're making the comparison, so I'm gonna make the comparison without actually naming it, but that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
And I don't why. Boarding schools existed before, they will continue to exist for a long time. You can just have your story take place in a boarding school and it's fine. It's fine. You don't have to do this.
Well, as soon as you have a really popular piece of media, anything else with any similarity is going to be compared to it.
That's fine if other people are comparing it. I don't understand why in the book to be a cheeky, this is where again, any attempt at humor in this or cheekiness or fourth wall breaking of this just did not work. I don't think that wit is this author's strong suit.
I would agree. But I will, to give them credit, I'm assuming because they're trans, maybe that was this is their version of a magical boarding school in the face of turfery. So
but it has so nothing to do with
I mean, I'm trying to be generous. That might be where their head was at of why they decided to include that as kind of an FU to her.
Maybe
I don't know. I don't remember the reference
of the need for that, but because I just see it so often in any book that does this, then I'm just oh, and we're doing that again.
Yeah,
so you got to be take that box.
Yeah.
The elephant in the room is that this is a magical. It's not an elephant in the room. It's not.
Not in the world.
I guess it depends what the reality is. Is this happening in our existence, an alternate reality of our own where that also exists? Then you're just well, yeah, that exists in their timeline too. But still, it's such there's a lot of bigger problems I had with the book.
Well, I mean, I guess in your corner, Lana, if there's a contemporary fantasy that's set in our world and something fantasy-y is happening, you don't always see them say what is this, Lord of the Rings?
Exactly.
Because I get, Harry Potter is a generation, it's a
and I think you absolutely can and should do that kind of thing. Again, if your tone is a campy, fourth wall breaking, making those jokes. If that was the tone of one of my favorite things ever in Vampire Diaries is when one of the girls gets turned into a vampire and she's trying to learn the rules and freaking out about it. And she says something about why doesn't he sparkle? And he's because we live in the real world where vampires burn in the sun. Yeah. So having a cheeky reference to Twilight in Vampire Diaries because it's Vampire Diaries is appropriate and funny. And this is the tone of what we're doing here where we're not really fully taking any of this seriously. Yeah. But this book is not campy. It's not fun. It's not making winks and nods and being cheeky and referential and fourth wall breaking. It just occasionally throws in a line that you're was that supposed to be funny?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Well, and it does always beg the question of is this an alternate reality? So I guess Harry Potter still exists in this world. So where at what point, I don't know. Anyway, that's probably getting too deep into it, but it's just if you really stop and think about it, it's okay, at what point is this our world with a twist versus a totally different reality? I don't know.
Yeah. Where again, if you have this is so there's so much going on with this that you'd have to do a lot to explain how this is our world and how we got to that point or where the plot lines or the timelines diverge.
Where does the timeline diverge? Because this came out in 98.
If you have a smaller concept, which again would have benefited this in manifold ways, then you could have the is it or isn't it, where it's it's believable that this thing would be under the radar, that we wouldn't know about this, that this wouldn't be universe altering, that this is going on, because this is pretty universe altering. We would be aware this is going on.
Yeah, it's alternate reality, but branching off of our reality that still exists.
I guess because people are applying to it. They think it's somehow prestigious, but then why? That also begs the question of do they just assume you get subsumed into this secret government and are never seen again? Because almost everyone who's going to the school is being viciously cannibalized. So like,
yeah, do you guys see a lot of graduates?
Yeah, like
around.
Yeah, in your prospectus, I don't think you have anything talking about what people do after graduation, because most of them do nothing after. Most of them don't get to graduate.
Most of them are just digested.
Yeah, most of them
are
are
good that nobody ever wants to leave. Sign me up.
Yeah.
I feel bad because I respect what I think that this was at least interesting. There's bad books I read that like are just bad. So I would be interested in reading something else from this author possibly, because like they clearly have ideas. Yeah, maybe because I was interested in the Salt Grows Heavy, but then it got so many bad reviews I didn't read it. Now I think maybe I should just get it from the library and see, do I just not like this author, or is it just
I mean, based on like you already liked this better than either Amanda or I did. I think there's a very strong chance that you'll like the Salt Grows Heavy.
Yeah. I mean, I gave it 2 stars because it's not. I read the whole thing and I liked the like horror imagery that she did, because she did some wild stuff.
Yeah.
Like the locust guy, like all of the imagery she had for like her villains, her monsters. Awesome. I love all the mythology. However, it's just like a hot mess, hodgepodge mess put together. So
well,
2 stars.
I'm wondering, this author, they aren't like big enough. They're not Sarah J. Maas. They're not Brandon Sanderson, where they just write a thing and everyone's like, cool, print it. So I'm just wondering, I mean, I would love to know what the sort of rounds of like revision and discussion with what's it called? Not the copy editor, the one that does like concept.
The developmental
editor. Yeah. What did this like? I would love to know what it originally looked like. The original first draft, was it even more scattered? Was it less scattered? Was it shorter? And they're like, no, you should expand this into a novel. Like, I'm just like so curious as to like this. How did we get to the point where this is the finished product? Because again, this is not the kind of thing that would be like rushed to print because it's like a 1,000 page book that we're not going to cut a single word because everybody will read every single word that Sarah J. Maas and Brandon Sanderson write. You know, like how like other people looked at this before it was published.
I'm looking at Goodreads to see what the split is.
That, or it was exactly that. Like the present timeline was the novella, and they're like, "Hey, we got to sell a full length novel. Write more shit."
Maybe. I'm looking at the distribution of ratings, and it looks, because the average rating is very low. It's a 3.17, but it looks like it's not that there's a lot of 5 stars and a lot of 1 stars. There's a lot of 3 stars. So that makes me, in terms of like the reception of this book, it seems like maybe a lot of people ended up kind of more where me and Amanda are, of like, okay, yeah, like there's stuff I like in here, but like,
Yeah, it's very niche. You know, this isn't like a mass appeal book because of how horrific it is. It's very kind of niche, so you're already kind of limiting your audience of people who's going to think this is cool.
This whole book is like every time I read a really long Stephen King book that I love, and then we get to the part where we're going to do speculative horror and I hate it because I'm just like so bored and not scared and not interested. And so then for that chunk of it, I'm like, oh, Stephen King's doing his thing.
So this is this. Do you guys want to? Because I'm curious, and I'm looking at their other books that have ratings. What would you guess the average rating for Nothing But Blackened Teeth is?
I haven't read it, so I don't really know. But I'm guessing it's higher.
I would say it's in the 3s. I would say 3.5-ish, so 3.65.
It is a 2.64.
Oh,
and it's the same distribution of like there's very few 5 stars. There's several 1 stars, but mostly it's 3 and 2.
What about Salt Grows Heavy?
What do you think the average rating is?
It's higher than either.
I don't know. I call it Salt Grows Heavy torture porn, so I think I probably gave that a 2 as well.
So it's a lot higher. It's 3.54, and the most given rating is a 4 star. And it's more like 5, 4, 3, and very few 2s and 1s. So anyway, this is just interesting. Now, like in my quest to be like, should I try something from this person? Maybe the answer is I should try the Salt Grows Heavy because it's the only one that has like a decent Goodreads rating.
It's the only other one I've read. It's the only one I can comment on. I liked it. I think I gave it a 4 or 5 stars.
Yeah.
I gave that one a 2 as well.
Yeah.
That seems to be. But you know what? I like to give an author at least 2 books because maybe I just didn't like that one book.
Well, if this had been my first, I don't think I would ever have considered reading another. But because I read The Salt Grass Heavy and I did like that, then I would consider trying the other stuff to see how it works for me.
Yeah. But I mean, I think it depends on like what you get out of the, like I read
what the particular issue is.
Yeah, like so I read Leech from Huron Inez, and then I just read The Works of Vermin, which is their sophomore novel, and I didn't love The Works of Vermin, but they are very interesting in their imagery and ideas. So like I'm willing to try more, even if some of them are misses, because like it's a miss for me in an interesting way. If it's just a boring, like bland, without a perspective way, then I'm like, I'm good. But like if there's something there that's like, this is weird or this is different or whatever.
I feel like if it's we've got two of you. There we go.
Oh, there we go.
I feel like if the issue, this obviously isn't universally true, but the most irredeemable issue would be if the authorial voice does not work for me, because I'm like, that's going to be true no matter what they write.
Then we're just like, done because I can't.
Yeah, but it's like, so I did see like a lot of reviews for this thing, like, oh, she has a thesaurus and she has a dream, and like this is what the situation is.
I can kind of see that, but I don't
care that they use. I don't care that they use flowery language. It's also the fact that I never clocked that they used a word incorrectly, which is an immediate deal breaker. If I'm like, if you're going to be flowery and if you're going to be verbose and you're going to do all these fancy pants metaphors and you're going to break out that thesaurus, use the words right, use it correctly. And so like there was nothing that jumped out at me as, oh, you think you're being fancy, but you don't even know how to use this word. So the prose was fine. And so, but I saw reviews from people saying that the prose was the thing that like really, really did not work for them. And then so I'd be like, okay, well then this is just like an author issue. But for me, like this is the prose in this book is very similar to the prose in Salt Grass Heavy. So the fact that this is their writing style in terms of just like on the line level, not a problem. But the chaos of Library Hellebore is particular to this book situation. So I have a sample to know that they just don't always go for full chaos. Like it's not always that. So.
Yeah. But maybe they do sometimes, given that there's a book with a 2.64 rating.
Chaos is on the table, but it's not guaranteed.
Which again, to me, like if you have a 2.64 and it's because you have a ton of 5 stars and a ton of 1 stars, that I'm more interested in, because I'm like, okay, that means just a strong flavor. You're either going to like this or you're not. But if it's a lot of 3s and 2s, it's like, I don't know about that.
Well, and actually, so like I don't really like Gideon the Ninth. I have a rant review about Gideon the Ninth.
I DNF to Gideon the Ninth.
I loved it.
But at the same time, I feel like I did somewhat enjoy Gideon the Ninth more than this, because that campy tone that it employed. Like I don't think it was a very successful book. It's not my cup of tea. There's a lot of the problems that I have with it. But specifically the choice to like have this campier kind of like very humorous, darkly humorous tone, it would have helped this book be more palatable.
Yeah. Well, to your point earlier, I just could not deal with the authorial voice in Gideon the Ninth. So that's why it was a no-go for me. But we're in the minority. Amanda's in the majority. A lot of people like
I loved
it's super popular.
I have a lot of FOMO when people talk about that series because they liked it so much. And I'm like, the concept sounds very like I was very excited to read that book, and I was like it.
It was the first book was an isolation mystery in space with lesbians. That sounded great.
Lesbian necromancer
on the cover. Yeah. Yes, it is. That is the perfect description.
Yes. Yeah. Well, we didn't like this book. but we had a good but we did have good I feel like this year we had a lot of really good convos. Even if we don't love the books, we've had good.
You usually have a better convo when the book isn't all around favorite. If it's a book everyone loves, everyone's just like, well, that was great. All right, we'll see you next time.
I can't remember what all we read. Picnic and Hanging Rock, which actually me and Leanna liked, but we had a good convo.
I don't have a strong opinion about it. So
and that one just had the whole thing about like the ending that wasn't there. That like was a full.
I like the ending.
Conversation was like, so what about that?
yeah, I like that. And then it was me and I did Red Rabbit,
which I think we all liked pretty well, actually.
Well, Leanna didn't hate it. You just
she was neutral.
Like Western, so
you definitely liked it, and Leanna was neutral.
I
And
liked it a
then
lot. I read the sequel to it. Like I liked it that much.
that's right. I forgot there
I
was a
just read the
sequel.
sequel.
Was it good?
It's not as good as the first book,
Okay.
but whoever's still alive is in the second book. Like Moses is there and the witches and Rose.
Yeah.
And it's kind of zombie like in a way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay, so here's the deal. This is the first chapter. Moses, this is like 10 years after Red Rabbit. And Moses gets married. He has a wife. The wife passes away, followed by their infant, like childbirth complications. Moses gets real fucking pissed off about that. So he goes and hunts down the Grim Reaper and he murders the Grim Reaper. So now that Death is dead, no one can die.
Yeah.
Death is dead, no one can die. And it's not great because oh, this guy got run over by a wagon. His chest is popped open, still walking around. And the longer that they can't die, the crazier they get.
The more there's like zombies basically walking around.
They have brains and they can think and talk and they act like people. Like they're not like zombies, but they just get like homicidally violent.
Well, are they in pain all the time? Because I would be homicidally violent if I was.
They're dead. They don't feel anything.
Yeah.
But
that's interesting.
It starts off okay, where they're like, yeah, I'm fine, whatever. Let's have a party. You know, they're just like normal. And then as time goes on and the longer they're not dead, the crazier they get. So lots of horrible murders.
I'm trying to imagine if I just had like my chest open and I wanted to try to just live my life, would I just always have to have like a poncho on? Like, how do you even?
They got the town doctor to like close it.
Okay, well that's good. That's good. That's step one.
Put that back where it goes.
I'm gonna sew that up.
Yeah, that like thick black.
Your chest is the closet that's overflowing, and you just kind of push the door closed, and you're like, it's all in there.
Yeah,
just don't open the door.
Just don't look in there. It's fine.
The dead homicidal maniacs take axes to people a lot, so they have people with just in the face. It's gory, just like Red Rabbit was.
Yeah, Red Rabbit was pretty gory too. But that one was, so we had good convo and it was pretty successful. And then the Enigma of Room 622. I don't know that any of us loved it, but we at least had like an interesting conversation about it.
Yeah. I think that author, I was like, this fuckboy, like after reading it, that's how I feel about it.
Yeah. I want to read his big hit.
I
got that on my library list. Maybe we can buddy read that at some point. I won't make Amanda read that again. Read another one from him.
Maybe it was just this one I don't like. I don't know. I try to give authors at least 2 books.
Yeah. And then this one none of us really liked, but we did have a good combo. So I feel like good year of good picks this year in terms of just
conversation,
generating combo.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really liked. At least I found one that I liked, and I read the second book. So.
Yeah, and I'm glad because I really liked his writing. I don't know if I need more in that world, but I would definitely read another book from that author because I liked his writing a lot.
Yeah, this is more like Rabbit's a teenager now. 10 years have passed.
Angsty witch teen.
Kind of, but more, I don't know. Everyone keeps calling her girl, so part of me's like, did she just not age? Is she still a little girl? But I'm like, no, it's 10 years later.
You're still a girl. When you're a teen.
Still a girl, but like not like girl, you know what I mean? So she's a young woman
with an I, not a U.
That would actually be very funny if her nickname aged with her. So she starts off as girl, and then now her nickname is young woman, and then when she is a full adult, they just call her woman.
Just call her that.
It's like, what's your nickname?
Well, I mean, like Rose is middle aged now in the book. Like she's not like a young widow. She's like a bit older.
Yeah.
But Rabbit and Sadie haven't aged really. Like Sadie doesn't age. She's like just always looking like she's in early 20s. And then you have Rabbit who's looking like a teenager. And then Rose is like 40 something.
Yeah. Yeah, living forever doesn't sound like it's for me, but
well, that's like that cursed monkey's paw thing that's in a lot of stories where like someone makes a wish for immortality but not eternal youth, and then they're like, oh fuck.
I'll just say we do find out in Rose of Jericho that while Sadie and Rabbit are aging much slower, they are aging and they're not
someday.
Immortal.
Yeah.
Just it'll take a little longer to get there.
They're like
It'll
one
take
of
longer.
Dunedain.
Yeah. Gonna take a little longer to get there because basically they have to find a new death. Who's gonna be death? Like that's what the book's about.
Yeah. So I mean, someone's got to do it.
It just sounds like the
Someone's
plot
gotta
of a
do it.
Discworld book.
Yeah. There's a literal
Yeah, but
character.
not lighthearted.
Not with the Pratchett banter.
No.
Not with the Pratchett banter. This one is more like homicidal dead people.
Yeah.
Throwing a party.
Yeah,
there's a zombie party and everyone's invited.
That's a vacancy that does need to be backfilled. That's not just a position you eliminate when the person leaves, you know. You gotta find a replacement.
Yes, you need legacy planning with that.
Yeah.
Oh, and I will say there is a biblically accurate angel in it. You know, like ball of eyes and wings in the book.
I'm always in favor of biblically They're kind of an underused paranormal bit, I think.
Yeah. Basically, it's the angel of death, and the other angels are like, "Fuck, dude, we need to fix this."
I haven't watched this season yet, but there's a season of Dimension 20 where they have a battle against a biblically accurate Chris Angel. And I'm like, that's a very good joke. I like that.
The punometer
so
is off
much eyeliner.
Yeah. So much steaming flattened hair. You know, like when you back in the aughts when you would straighten your hair and it would just like, it's a very specific kind of steam that comes off of that.
I never did the steam. Like a lot of people did it wet, so it would go wet to dry in the steam. I couldn't make myself do it.
Well, I would try to wait till it was dry, but my hair is so thick I would always get impatient. So I'd always have like a little bit of steam in there.
Getting
steamy. Also,
Oh. Uh-oh.
Ooh.
'Tis a mystery.
At least she's frozen in an acceptable
no
pose.
Locust in the mouth.
Yeah. Sometimes
am I still frozen?
Oh, you're back. We can hear you.
Maybe.
We can't see you, but your voice was coming through.
Maybe
my internet. I fucking hate my internet. It's like this all the goddamn time.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah, I have to say I'm living this Google Fiber life, and I don't know that I can ever not have fiber because it's like if there's a problem, I know it is not the internet. Like I think we've had one outage in 5 years. I didn't mean to show for Google. I just mean fiber in general.
I had 11. I had 11 outages this past
Mara,
summer.
how much are they paying you for these plugs?
Nothing. This is just a true consumer review.
Get a referral code.
Yeah. I mean, I just mean fiber in general. I happen to have Google. That is who is servicing my area for fiber. But in general, if you can get fiber, I recommend it.
Since our whole lives are on the internet now, can't really do without.
Yeah. And I don't have to deal with Comcast anymore, which is definitely a bonus.
Yeah. Anything you can do to avoid that.
Yeah. A fate worse than death, truly.
I can't believe I used to wait 2 hours for one song to download. Like, who was she? How did she survive?
Well, and the utter devastation when you've waited that 2 hours and you come back and realize that it was a fail, like it failed at some point, and so then it's like glitchy and a complete waste.
But way I valued each song on my iPod because of this, because of the work.
Yeah.
You know?
The patience.
It's like music has become fast fashion, you know, where like you had to like hand make that sweater, and now it's your one sweater, and you love that sweater. But now you can get 50 for $1 from Temu or Cider or whoever it is.
And the radio, we really are just like back in my day. The way I would wait. Oh, Amanda, I think she just totally dropped. Hopefully she'll be back. I would wait for the song that I really loved come on the radio and was waiting to record it on my cassette and like hovering over the button to hit exactly when it started and then cut it off perfectly. That was I treasured those. Oh, is she back? Okay, yay. She's and beautifully.
Just wrap this up because like I can't. I don't know what's going on here.
Okay. Well,
it's going
look
in and
beautiful
out.
Again.
Well, thank you.
Beautiful picture.
Fuck.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it.
I know. Well, we don't yet know what the deal is for 2026, so stay tuned and you'll know when we know. Yeah.
Yep.
We'll send
That
out the
was it.
ravens.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Have a good rest of your year.
Yes.
All right.
Happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year's, all the things.
Yes. Throw Kwanzaa
Bye.
in there.
Yeah, Kwanzaa.
Sorry, guys.